cookies. Thank you. So who should get to 2K subs first, me or Stephen Walton?
You got the nice beard.
Thank you. Do you even know who Stephen Walton is?
No, I'm not sure.
Nobody does. Okay, with Roof Korean here, yes, that's him. Me or Stephen Walton to 2K first?
Stephen Walton.
No, you know, the author?
Wait. The Stephen Walton?
Yeah, Wrinkle in a Tree.
Oh, the tree.
Yeah, the tree guy. The tree guy. 2K first, me or Stephen Walton?
You.
Yeah, do you even know who he is?
Nope.
Author of Eat, Pray, Trees or something like that.
Exactly.
He does dirty things to trees. We're here with one of the bigger names in the fandom, Thomas Gilpert.
Hi.
Now,
Yes.
can I ask you a question?
Maybe, if you're nice.
Who
Yes.
should hit 2K first, Sporking News Podcast or Stephen Walton?
Okay, the bigger question is, why haven't you subscribed to Sporking? Walt, the Phantom Menace Astorian. Is obsessed with shirtless men.
Yep.
He's obsessed with me. He has an unhealtly relationship.
Unhealthy.
With me. And folks, if you get Culture Casino to 10,000 subs, you get to see him shirtless. So Sporking can have since Walton can have a new crush.
Now, if I get to 2,000 subs, I will make Culture go shirtless.
Damn!
If I get to 2,000 subs, I will make Culture go shirtless.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. That is way too many intros. I am here to discuss fantasy with you. Sporking Talks Fantasy. I feel like a newbie when it comes to some of these, a normie, I guess, when it comes to some of these fantasy IPs, like The Wheel of Time. I think I read it like years ago, and I do remember some of it not matching up with the series, definitely, but I just downloaded on Audible. So this is going to be a reverse of my Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones, I've read the series twice and then watched, most of the show. So I understood the logic of it better. The mythos, the history. I don't know much about Wheel of Time, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about House of the Dragon and George working on everything but the Winds of Winter. And then we're also going to talk about J.K. Rowling being doxxed and people being okay with that, which I don't understand. Free Folk of the Fandom, what's up, my man? Yeah, Parrot Head, there's moments in time where I love and hate you at the same time. The Time Prophet is here. Tina Bojan, please show the like button some love. We all need it. Yeah, we do. I definitely do. And if you're first time here, which 28% of you most likely are, please subscribe. Every Wednesday and Saturday, we do the dump. I know I didn't really think about the name until afterwards. I was thinking news dump. Most of the people think poop. But anyways, we do the dump, where we talk about Hollywood and society and pop culture and the culture war and everything that goes along with, even politics, with what is going on in America and in the world today. Time Prophet said he never heard of the Wheel of Time. I can't imagine that. You seem like you're up on that type of stuff. Mockney Draws is here, one of my boys. Please subscribe to him. Another monster. Sup, y'all? Relax. He's here now. And we have a new name. Can I pronounce it? Guyvermetin. It sounds like a drug. And that's STX Rob Star. Hail to Spork Mods and chat. Yes, please chat. If you're knowledgeable in like the Wheel of Time and stuff like that, like Tina Bojan's husband, who listens in the background usually, ask questions, give me some info, because I'm a little lost with the show. All I do know with the Amazon series is I'm going to review it really quick. Men are bad, ladies are awesome. And that's what I pretty much got out of that. Yeah. I don't know about you, but that's what I got out of it. J.K. Rowling brought it on herself. I don't know about that. So in my view, free speech is free speech. If you say something, you do need, whatever the cause and effect of that is usually, debate. She was doxxed. Okay. To me, that giving people's home addresses and stuff like that because you don't agree with her biological stance on women is kind of messed up. So I don't agree with what you're saying there. But to each their own. The Dragon Reborn is a effing man. If you are a woman and can channel, you are, how do you say that? Asadia. I feel like it's a Dune name. Ashasadia or something like that. I am so normie on this. I find it. Okay, so let's go into Wheel of Time first. We'll read a couple more, and if you guys have some stuff to help me with, I would love it. The sooner you stop simping for Martin, the sooner you can find a better series. Metal Runner, what's up, dude? I'm not talking to Parrot Head anymore, people. I'm not talking to Parrot Head. One Man Show, greetings and salutations. I love your avatar. That is dope. I spelled Sedai wrong, but it is not a real word. That is true, but let's try to spell it right there. Another monster mega Walton. So let's talk about this. So we have a new series on Amazon. It is The Wheel of Time, a book series by Robert Jordan, 14 novels, a beloved book series, somewhat what George Martin kind of ripped off a bit from, and not just that. I mean, Martin, Lovecraft and Robert Jordan and so many others, even himself, because a lot of his Song of Ice and Fire relates back to his hive mind and sci-fi stuff he wrote in the 70s and 80s. Mr. Batsu in the Wheel of Time books, the men and women are badass. No need to woke it up. Okay, so am I correct on... Okay, so originally a woman started the decay or the end or whatever happened with the dragon the first time. But when men do tap into it, it can corrupt them, but women it can't. Am I correct on that? Because that is pretty much all I remember from the books, is that like when men tap into the one power, like they can be corrupted a lot easier than women. Is that correct? Let me know in the chat. Again, I am a normie when it comes to it, and I'm okay with that. I said I. Thank you, brother. At Sporking News Podcast, J.K. Rowling was being ultra woke. It tends to come back and bite you if you are carrying the woke banner. Okay, so I don't disagree with her stance on LGBTQ and all that stuff. She was. The minute she disagreed with the pack, you see what happens. They turn on you. Sorry if you can hear my water pump. I am a 43-year-old dude in his basement. Yeah, people who hate that type of guy. I don't know, maybe. But does she deserve to be doxxed? Like, I understand these people are all a little bit overboard, and I think it takes, which is sad, it takes someone like Rowling, someone like what's that dude's name on HBO he's a comedian that's a douche. When you kind of red pill, the red pill is after you make a comment and you see that your group, your bubble attacks the crap out of you. When are people going to understand that moderate and more conservative people are more open-minded and more accepting of who you are? I judge people by the character. Who are you? Like, who are you? Are you a good person or are you a bad person? Someone I could trust or someone I can't? Like, I'd rather surround myself with good people. That's kind of how I feel on that. Liger fan, what's up, buddy? Dislike count is now taken off. Yeah. I can see it on my own videos. All you see is the dislike button. I could see the count. It's to protect the larger IPs like Disney and everything that's under the blanket of Disney, which is pretty much everything under the sun. So they can lie about their ratios. That's my feeling on it, YouTube. So don't come at me. Yeah, now you're saying I should die. But who knows? Yeah. Yeah, please feel free to become a channel member like the great Tina Bojan. Thank you for sharing out links and stuff, Tina. You get no extra content with me, but God, I love you. Okay, great sales pitch. There are so unintentionally transparent. Yes, they are. You're absolutely right. That's Sporking News Podcast. Nice to see you on your own. It's better when we don't have to share you with all the others. Yeah, I'm starting to realize, and that nothing with anybody else. I was going to make a couple channel updates. I love having people on my panels, but I'm going to try to keep my panels 6 or less for now on to give people an opportunity to speak without being overspoken, without all of us cutting each other off, allowing the guests to have more time to speak. It's kind of stupid to have someone like Gary on or Andre on like he was on Saturday. Check out that one and you'll see how little he got to speak because all of us are morons and we speak too much. So I'm really going to try to keep the count down and I want to do more of my own. It'll be more clumsy and less production value. That's a joke. I have no production value. But it will be a little more clumsy. I hope you guys bear with me. We have 19 people watching right now, and I hope it's something you guys like and we can build something from there. I really appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch the channel. I don't think I get enough time to tell you guys that, on my other streams. It means a lot. It really does. I go back and read like the live chat after, like, see if I missed awesome like responses. And a lot of the times I do. So I apologize for that. They are badass characters, but rest assured they will woke it up. I feel like they already did. Let's take a quick look. I want to see something here. The Wheel of Time Amazon series. IMDb. Okay, I'm going to share this real quick. Share. Do. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Wheel of Time. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, let me take that off. Okay, so Wheel of Time, the first episode is called The Dragon. Oh, no, that's the 4th episode. Let's look at the first name. Leave Taken. What does that even mean? Leave taken. All right. So a strange noblewoman arrives in a remote mountain village claiming one of 5 youths is the reincarnation of an ancient power who once destroyed the world and will do so again if she's not able to discover which of them it is, but they all have less time than they think. Okay. So real quick, spoilers ahead for the show. Cause I'm going to talk about it. In the village, there was only 4. Now, I guess there's going to be a 5th person, but in the village, she only got 4 of them. So what's the 5th person? I'm a little confused on that. But quick overview of it. You know, we have the this noble-ish woman. And she does end up coming to this remote town, like they're saying. And she's powerful, and you could tell there's a history of these people being almost feared in a way, maybe misunderstood. So she goes on to tell a few of these kids in the town that they may be the Dragon Reborn. The dragon is someone who broke the world. And the next dragon will either fix it or destroy it, depending on which side, the dark or the light, that they end up on. So as she's talking to them, trying to get them, this is another one of them. They get attacked, and I'm forgetting the name of oh God, what are those creatures that attack them? God, I'm going to really need your guys' help right now with this one. What is the name of the creatures that attack them? Anybody? Bueller? So anyways, they get attacked. Nerd Cookies, do you know anything about this show? Like the book series? Because I'll totally send you a link to help me. It is definitely a book series. I don't know. But anyways, so they get attacked. She's able to fight off many of them with her manservant, I'll call him, taking what most likely should be a mortal wound. One of the young men, the Bollocks. Thank you. Emotionally unstable amphibian, the Bollocks. She takes on a mortal wound. She's still able to defend. She like rips the whole inn down using her magic, throwing stones, crushing them. You see the Wisdom, a woman who is the healer and the person that actually can tap into this one power. They call it listening to the wind, and her apprentice. The Wisdom gets taken. The apprentice is another person that is considered a candidate. So I guess she's grabbing these candidates because she doesn't have a long enough time to figure out who they are. So one of the candidates is this young lady here in the male. Wow, I'm going to get names right now because I suck. So let's get the names of the characters. Like I said, I am very green at this show, so bear with me. We will probably go through this one quick. So she is Morena, and her service is Lan Mandragoran. Holy crap, I can't speak English. Then you have Ewan. I think that's her name. She is one of the candidates. You also have Rand al'Thor, or in other name, Anakin Skywalker. Dude, don't tell me this kid doesn't look like Hayden Christensen. Like at first I thought it was Hayden Christensen and they de-aged him a little bit. I was so like, wait a minute, who is this kid? You also have the kid playing Perrin Abiar. Now, Perrin ends up killing his wife or lover by accident when they're fending off from the Bollocks, and you could tell that's eating him alive. Then you got Matt, who is seems to be Rand's one of his best friends and Perrin's best friend, and it seems like he always gets himself in trouble. He's a gambler. He lives on the wild side. Very, English, like a beetle of some sort, but like more like John, not like Ringo. You know what I mean? So, they leave their village because they want to keep it safe. Long story short, they get attacked along the way. They end up in a city that is dope. It's a walled off city that was like ancient times, one of the more powerful. They walled themselves off and let the rest of the world pretty much beat the crap out of each other. When everyone came to see what happened after the war, everybody was gone, vanished. And there's some creature, some being in shadow that can destroy, like just turns you to dust. That was an intro. I have to say the special effects were whatever. It's a TV show, but the sets, the places they actually had locations of were fantastic, gorgeous. Was most of this done in New Zealand before they left? Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the new Lord of the Rings. Where was this filmed? Let me know if you know. I'm going to jump back to the chat because I don't know enough about this show and we're going to move on in a little bit. All I could say is all I wanted to talk about was that right off the rip, it's woke, man. It is very woke. And I know that term, we use that a lot, but it's like so obvious that the women are great and the men aren't in this show. Like they're either kind of simpy or they're scumbaggy or they're weak. They all have flaws and the women may have some flaws. I haven't seen them yet. So yeah, let's see. I see 3 dislikes, then back down to 1. Are we talking about my show? I'll tell you right now how many dislikes I have. What? I have 0, it says. Thank you for the 26 likes. Please make sure to keep liking. We have 20 people watching right now, and I apologize for that. All right. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Grant Gregory, you freak. Another monster I've heard. The TV show is woke garbage. I was never going to watch it. I knew when you made the main character diverse, it was bad news. Yeah, I really would love if someone can fill me in. Like, really fill me in on what the hell the books were like. I just started listening to the Audible. And I really don't know what to think about it. Sam, Nick, I mean, you guys know this. I'm sending you guys the link. Hold on. Sorry, guys. You know what? Gary doesn't talk for like minutes at a time. You guys can deal with it. Nick. There he is. Nick. All right, Nick McCabe, I'm sending you this because you probably know the book. And if your brother knows it, send it to him. Please. We'll have a McCabe night. One more I gotta send out. Where is it? Boom. All right. So I'd like you guys to jump on to talk about that part with me, and then I'll boot you maybe. I don't know. While we're waiting for them, though, we will take a look at this article. Because they think Amazon The Wheel of Time looks to push fantasy beyond Game of Thrones. Okay, so I hope it's Game of Thrones season 1 through 4, because then that would be amazing. But what I've seen from it, like, look, the scenery is gorgeous. Look at that. That is like, it's gorgeous. The story's not that good. The adaptation of Robert Jordan's hit fantasy series. I'm sorry, this is Think something. NBC News. Oh, it's NBCnews.com. Culture and lifestyle. Why isn't this entertainment? Why is it culture and lifestyle? Look at that. Culture and lifestyle. That's weird. The adaptation of Robert Jordan's hit fantasy series isn't mind-blowing, but its diverse cast, thoughtful script, and female portrayals make it another step in the right direction. Okay. It's not mind-blowing, but its diverse cast, thoughtful script towards the diverse cast, and female portrayals make it another step in the right direction. If that is what makes a good series today, like, oh my God, that's what you're basing a series on? Don't get me wrong, I don't mind diversity if it doesn't affect the story. Again, you know my feelings on House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon, they swapped a Valerian, went from a pretty much elf-looking platinum purple-dyed gentleman to a dreadlocked black gentleman. And it's not supposed to affect the narrative, but it does because his grandchild, there's a paternity claim in. And when Valerians, any Valerians I've seen in the history, when they have a child with somebody outside of that Valerian line, the child most of the time takes on like the Dornish skin tone or hair color, or, you know, that other person, the other families. It's not like a dominant gene in a way. So now if you have a black parent and a white parent, or even a someone who's biracial and a white, your children won't have that platinum, blue, purple-eyed, pale skin tone. Like, it changes the whole idea of that paternity. Like, you could take one look at the kid and be like, wait, no, that's his. It's not the Rogue Prince's. You know, like, it affects the story so much. Now, if it's somebody outside the family that you decided you wanted to race swap for the heck of race swapping, I'm fine with that. Whatever, if it doesn't affect the story. But yeah, so McCabe Brothers, if you're still listening, come on. Yeah, so let's get back to this story because it's so fascinating. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not used to being by myself on this thing. This is by Ani Bondell, cultural critic. Sorry if I butchered your name. Amazon's The Wheel of Time feels at first blush like just another entry in a already crowded field of series fighting to be the next Game of Thrones. While the streaming service adaptation of Robert Jordan's best-selling fantasy series isn't mind-blowing, we already went over this part, it's diverse, it's thoughtful, and often nuanced female portrayals make it yet another step in the right direction for the fantasy genre. The story is relatively straightforward. 3 young men and 2 young women from a small town. Dude, am I counting wrong? Who am I Zoe? Is it the Zoe? The Nynaeve? See, I didn't think she wasn't chosen. She ends up, anyways, are whisked away by a mysterious stranger to follow their destinies. That stranger, a member of the magical wielding Asedi, the series term for witch, Morena, believes one of the 5 to be the reborn spirit of the dragon who will save the world. She and her warder, bodyguard, Lan, watch over these young people as they discover their various magical abilities and eventually band together to fight an epic final battle against a mysterious dark force. Despite the simplicity of the overall narrative, simplicity? I mean, at 14 books, The Wheel of Time is the ultimate unfilmable fantasy saga. The novel changed the game in the 90s, ushering in an era of doorstopper-size, content-spanning fantasy epics revolving around chosen one narratives. The series was a marvel, world building, however it cared little for momentum. Rather than move the story forward, Jordan preferred to devote chapter upon chapter to building out subcultures and customs while reveling in taking the mythos of the Eastern and Western traditions and melding them into a single hero's tale. Well, his world building, like Martin, both books, in the 90s, Martin and Jordan, like that's what makes fantasy. Give me the rules of the world, give me the parameters of the world, and let me live in it with you. Give me the history, how vague. Give me an ancient civilization we know nothing about, and may never learn anything about. Like, to me, that makes a great story. You'll see in other ones where people talk about what's his name? Talk about the prequel for Game of Thrones, where what's his name? Dan Condon, I think his name is. Ryan Condal. Ryan Condal talks about like world building and things of that nation, and exposition as like a necessary evil. Like, how is that a necessary evil? Like, that's what makes it great. I don't understand. I really don't understand. So by arriving after the first wave of Game of Thrones, imitators like the Shannara Chronicles, which I didn't mind, The White Queen, didn't watch. The Wheel of Time lands long after ultra-faithful adaptations have gone out of fashion. 2 decades ago, the Lord of the Rings film trilogy was measured by its ability to precisely recreate the novel on screen. Nowadays, it's reimagined like Watchmen or a remix like The Witcher that hit big. Okay, Watchmen hit big? Wow. I'm coming back to the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Yeah. If anybody wants a good breakdown, check out Despair You. Also, check out Lady Gravemaster. She, I was told, did a great one. I did one video on it, but no, generally I'm not familiar with Wheel of Time. That's Nerd Cookies. Yeah. So guys, I know Lady Gravemaster is definitely, did an awesome breakdown of this, so please go check that out. Yeah, okay. J-Pod says, Wheel of Time, I'm very mixed on episodes 1 through 3, haven't read the books, and mixed on the show. I kind of feel the same way. Mawa Rain. You guys know I'm slow. I can't read. God. Thanks, Nerd Cookies. Kitty Bear, what's up? Lord Long Dong Master Servant. Is British, but really annoying British. Yeah, she is. That's Mawa Rain. Yeah. Hail Twilight Twins. Yeah, the McCaves. Where are you? J-Pod says, I wish they used characters' names more at the start to really drill it who each character. Thank you. I wish they kept saying each other's names. Like Matt, I kind of caught, but like after that, I'm like, who's Perrin? Which one's which? What's the girl's name again? Like, I couldn't stick with it. I couldn't. Oh, excuse me for 1 second. I'm gonna play an ad real quick, and I'll be right. So, should I get to 2K subs first or Stephen Walton?
You.
Yeah. Do you know who he is?
No.
I'm here with Tugs, and we're trying to find out who should. Well, wait a minute. Who should hit 2K first? Myself, Sporting this podcast, or Stephen Walton?
Who the fuck is Stephen Walton?
No one knows.
Subscribe to this guy.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm here with Ryan Cannell.
What the fuck? Say my name right, motherfucker. Ryan Kinnell.
Ryan Cannell. First person to 2K, myself or Stephen Walton?
Well, that's a tough question. It's two very undesirable answers.
Right.
But I am on Sporking's channel, so I guess I have to say Sporking News Podcast.
Do you even know who Stephen Walton is?
I do, because he made a video about how you were using me for clout the other day. So I actually watched that.
Oh, you did watch
Yeah, I
that
did watch
boring ass video. I'm here with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and I have a question for you, sir.
Yeah, man. What's up?
Who should hit 2K subs first, myself or author Stephen Walton?
Who the hell's Stephen Walton?
You know, the author.
I mean, by default, you, just because I don't even know who the other person is. And you're a great YouTuber. You're an amazing YouTuber. You've inspired me.
I mean, I didn't want to tell everybody
You've
that.
inspired me to do better because your stuff is so bad. But
Yeah,
you
well.
know, but in all seriousness, who is Stephen Walton?
Someone told me he loved Pray Trees or something like that he wrote, or Wrinkle in a Tree. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. I can tell you one thing: Geeks and Gamers is not affiliated. But we do love Sporking News. Subscribe
Minor
to
leagues.
Sporking News. Get him to 2,000 subs. Love this dude.
Thank you, brother. Pretty much I'm Geeks and Gamers now. Whatever. He won't announce it. Jeremy probably will never admit it, or Drunk 3PO, or Ryan, or anybody else involved. But I mean, come on. It's actually, they were thinking about Geeks and Sporkerz, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, so Awesome One says, like the scenery and action at the end. Not sure if the matriarchy is in the books. Yeah, I don't know, but it is a very matriarchal society. All the men are either crazy dumb or even one of the kids, Anakin Skywalker. He's like such a tool. He starts out good. Him and Tywin Lannister are having a grand old time, and then Tywin takes a bad, hit to the neck, and the kid goes along with Mawa Rain, and next thing you know, he's just a jerk to everybody because his feelings are hurt. But the women are kicking ass, so don't worry about that. Mr. Batsu, the casting of the show is horrible. They are in the country called Andor, which is this world's version of England. The characters are all white in the book, not diverse. The book is racist then? Like every book that's not the color purple or something like that? That was racist. I'm sorry. That was stupid. But you know what I mean? Like this person, and I'm sorry, I should really blow up what they're saying a little bit more. They're saying it's like the most important thing is the diversity. Like, doesn't that blow your mind right here? It's diverse cast, thoughtful script, and often nuanced female portrayals make it yet another step in the right direction for the fantasy genre. Like, you have a writer that's basing his continent or his people in this world on England. And throughout the way they're meeting other people, I'm guessing from different walks of life, but it's a mythos like an England, and not an England of today, but a medieval England. And it was rare to see non-white characters. And I understand it's hard for me because I don't know the characters enough to say, does that change it? Because if it's, diversity for diversity's sake, but it doesn't mess with canon, I really don't care. But it's the idea that this is what people are focusing on now. Like, that's all they're focusing. Because it seems like the show kind of sucks. I don't know. You guys tell me. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Nynaeve Almira. Nynaeve Almira. Am I saying that right, Tina? I'm trying. Yes, Sporking News Podcast. Rand looks like a redheaded Anakin, and his dad is Roose Bolton. Why am I saying? Thank you, Roose Bolton. Duh. Neither of these facts make me like the character. In fact, opposite is true. Yeah, Roose Bolton and Anakin. It doesn't help. Bad casting. So everyone's feeling the casting. The casting and the CGI was the weakest part for me. Okay, so the CGI didn't take me out, J-Pod. It didn't take me out. I actually thought some of it for a TV show. Now, granted, it is Amazon, so you would think the TV show, it should be great, but that part didn't bother me as much. God, what is this now? Leandrin. Is that the Lan? That guy? Is that her manservant? So it's nothing more than Amazon's version of the Eternals. Scaife, you are so right. You're so right. Wizard effects were cheap. Yeah. Yes, but still it didn't take me out of the show. The Shannara show seemed to have this same story better with a smaller budget. It really did. At least I followed that a little bit better. It was filmed in Prague, excuse me. Gorgeous. TT, hey, I can still see the dislike count. What is going on, YouTube? Did you change your mind? Because somebody else told me that before too. I heard matriarchy was in the books. I believe it's definitely divided. Men are blamed for the breaking of the world, even though a woman started it. And when men tap into the one power, it seems to affect them 10 times worse and maybe even age them, compared to when women tap into it. It's more natural. So if I'm wrong, let me know. Christ's sakes, another show I won't watch, then thanks. Yeah. Mr. Gregory, vamp. Those falling rocks looked awful. Okay, yeah, they weren't that great, but that's not what bothers me. It's the story's just not good. I don't get it. The Wheel of Time takes place in our world, but one where civilization recycles, thus the wheel. It has Asian, Black, French, English, Caribbean people in the world. Wait a minute. So it's in our world? Like after a like way future? Like apocalypse and then like way future? Like, or you're saying recycling? What I got from the show was people reincarnate, and that's the recycle. That's the wheel. STX Robstar says, I couldn't bring myself to watch more than a couple episodes of Shannara, as I love the books so much as a kid. I'm not going to lie. There is one reason why I watched it, and I will show you. And I feel like a jerk. Shannara Chronicles. This is the reason. I'll show you right now. And it's petty. It's definitely male chauvinist a little bit. I thought this girl was awesome in it. I thought she was the whole reason that show was good. I thought she was the best part of the show. The kid, I didn't like the main actor. The half-elf kid bothered me. I loved like the druid. from like he was in Spartacus, a couple other things. I loved him, but this is the one. She was awesome, and not just that she's very pretty. It's just I thought she was great in the role. So I was like interested in that. I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, try to dislike Time Profit's videos. It won't mess with you. It'll actually help the algorithm. Everyone go to the Time Profit and dislike his video and see if you can see it. Don't worry. It won't mess your algorithm in. It'll actually help. J-Pod said, awesome one. I don't know much about the books. Me either. But the simple fact is matriarchy doesn't make it woke. It's how it's done. Kept telling that same thing and just fell. Yeah, I really wonder about this. Mega oof words. Yeah, I suck at words. Also want to say it did feel weird that two burly men would run from tiny women on a horse. Orville Nation for $2. Sporky. I love you, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that super chats, stickers, and my members. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everything you guys do. Liger fan says, someday after millions of dollars have been lost, lives wasted, and there are so few viewers that an echo will be heard of a pin dropping, the entertainment industry might actually get the hint. I don't know if they will, dude. I don't know. It's almost terrifying how dug in these people are. Like, wouldn't you think they've already lost money? Wouldn't you think they'd get past this most important thing is diversity and nuanced women and blah, blah, blah? Like, doesn't the story mean something? The Wheel of Time is a rich world. I know at least that. It has history. He dedicated so many books to like just getting to know different cultures. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't focus on that. But since attempting an accurate point-by-point reconstruction would be a fool's errand for the Wheel of Time anyway. Yeah, fool's errand, trying to do a faithful adaptation of the book. Amazon's, big word, series leans into streamlining the story, changing around how characters met and when and where events happened. Kind of like Cowboy Bebop. Like Cowboy Bebop, Jet is now a deadbeat dad. Julie never was a warrior, just a weak, female singer. Faye, don't get me on Faye. Like, you're not streamlining. You're changing. You're changing IPs and canon and history for the sake of diversity. The people that scream out diversity the most and things like that are usually the people that are like prejudiced, my opinion. And it scares me. The idea, the world we live in, how easily we drop terms that when I was growing up, you never called somebody. And now it's just you don't agree with me? Then you're a Yahtzee, or you're a grapist, or you're a Blanco Supreme. I don't get it. I don't get the idea that it's okay to do that because they have always been in charge and they've always been, so it's their turn. Like, turn the other cheek. Let's move on. Let's become a big world family. Let's, really like care about the content of a person, the character of a person. I don't know. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And it's willing to make wholesale changes in the narrative to tell a better story for TV, understanding that as long as most important moments hit where they are supposed to, the rest is fudgeable. Do you agree with that? The Wheel of Time also sidesteps one of the biggest problems with the shows and movies that slavishly recreate their source material. Slavishly recreate. That older material's racist blind spots. Instead of presenting yet another continent devoid of people of color, the Wheel of Time goes the cursed child route, which reimagined Hermione Granger as a black woman because her skin tone was never mentioned in the Harry Potter books. Guess what? It wasn't. So I'm fine with that. Whatever. But when it reimagines something where continents were devoted, like there's a reason why, like, I don't know, Valerians, like that's when I'm not okay with it. Hermione Granger, I don't care what you make her. They actually never do. They say she's bucktooth, this and that, but they never give you your skin type. So why not? Whatever. I don't care. Just make sure she wasn't bucktooth. Emma Watson's hot, but whatever. Wherever the books do not mention skin color, assuming default whiteness, the TV series assumes the opposite. The result is Bridgerton-like integrated fantasy that still feels painfully rare for prestige TV. Wow. What is going on? But perhaps the most remarkable thing of the Wheel of Time does is respect viewers' intelligence. Game of Thrones famously didn't trust audiences to absorb complex plot exposition, and so delivered quite a bit of it while showing people having orgies. Okay. It also cut much of the novel's most important backstory where they were delivered in monologue-type narrative, but the Wheel of Time doesn't shy away from these moments, giving Pike long fantasy history laden monologues that she delivers to her companions as they ride horses, trusting the actress' ability to hold our attention. The series is less successful in correcting the book's ingrained sexism and intense reliance on the gender binary. Oh, I don't even know what I'm reading anymore. ABC or NBC News. What the novels were one of the first mainstream fantasy series to center female characters, those sexist bastards, and give them point of view chapters. Robert Jordan, sexist. But they are women very clearly written by a man. Go figure. He tried his best to get into the head of a woman. Ask any husband. In some places, the series makes real improvements. Robin and Madden have far more three-dimensional characters, and Pike's nuanced emotional performance could sustain the show for several seasons alone. But on the other hand, the series invents multiple women who die for the express purpose of male character growth. Oh, they talk about that dude's wife. Come on. I can't. I don't know if I can finish this, guys. Wow. I don't know if I can. It's bad form, says Zaz. But I'm doing it anyway. Lady Gravemaster has a great 6-minute rant, and she knows the book's after Scott is done. Go check it out. No, that's not bad form, dude. I love her. Actually, I think, aren't you a moderator? Share the link, dude. Lady Gravemaster is a friend of my channel, and she knows this stuff. And if she would come on, I would love it just to talk about this because I'm so lost. But this article tells me everything I need to know of the view of this show and what people are really worried about. It's not the plot. It's not character growth. It's not the amazing history and the it's about, is it diverse enough where we could check box everything? That's pretty much what I see. Sherry, how you doing? What is he saying here? It's like today's creatives have declared themselves the new ministry of truth and are rewriting culture works for Big Brother's narrative. Well put, man. Well put. Like, who are you to take a beloved, like, legendary book series and change it because it doesn't fit your criteria? You know what you could then do? Create your own. Create your own series, big guy. Not be afraid to do your own series. Why? Why do you have to take something that people love from 30 years ago and make it for today's age? Be faithful or move on to your own stuff. That's what I have to say. You are creatively bankrupt, and you guys don't have a creative bone in your body to even touch one of these 14 books. So what do? You cannibalize other IPs, other people's stories, and just insert character here, insert female there, insert gender here, and you think that's better for TV watchers and moviegoers? I think, which was said earlier, we have to stick to the go woke, get broke. We have to stick to that idea of not giving these people money. I mean, the most important thing to this writer and to the series as a whole is that, did we make it diverse enough? And from what I'm getting, they don't even think this is diverse enough. So let's read a little bit more, if I could even get through it. Even more difficult, the series' entire system of magic is gendered. Why is that more difficult? Men and women access two different halves of the one power in painfully stereotypical ways. In the novel, women are flowers who open themselves and surrender to control while men dominate. A major plot point in the novels revolves around women being unable to access the male half of the power. Oh my God. Are you telling me they're not transgender magic? Sexist bastards. Though the moral of the tale is ultimately about balance, the story's inherent insistence that gender is immutable and heteronormativity is all that exists comes across as extremely dated. The series does it best to downplay the problematic aspects of this in the early going, but it will eventually have to confront its biases. What in the hell am I reading? Like, okay, please tell me, guys, doesn't it, like, the men that use this, like it destroys them? Doesn't that make these people happy? They're pissed that the magic is split to genders. And I'm betting it's biological gender. Oh no. I don't get it. Sorry, I was so off camera there. I don't get it. Like, so what if the magic is split into gender? It's interesting. It's interesting. Why is that? Why can they only touch different halves of the one power? Why can you split the one power? What happens? What's the different powers? Like, these are the questions they should be asking. No, it's so outdated. And what was the word they used? I'm so, like, not able to read. Hetero. Okay, let me blow this up so some human being that's smarter than me can read it. This one right here. Heteronormativity, right? Heteronormativity is all that exists. So it's outdated, guys. You know, Robert Jordan, you shouldn't have died before you could have changed all this. God, you make me sick. If the word diverse is used, I don't bother watching. I hear you, Time Prophet. Yeah, and they're showing men nudity while covering. Yes, thank you. Why do I... People, I need to ask this question. Why is it now man ass is cool, but seeing the female form, no? Every show lately, man ass everywhere. I know people like Walton love that, but I don't. Like the female, like first episode of Game of Thrones, Amelia Clark, before she goes into the bath. How beautiful is that female figure? Like, she is a piece of art. You know, like the female form, but you're going to show me, you know, manservant ass? What? Is this another one of those, well, you've seen boobs and butt enough, porkies. So it's your turn to see man ass and occasionally full frontal nudity. Like, come on, man. At least make it diverse. Let me see both at least. Come on, people. That's all I'm saying. Cody Guy, what's up? Let's get back to some of this story. I got to get through this. It's killing me, but I'm going to get through this. If there is one place where the series generally falls down, it's in the CGI. I can understand that. For a story that relies heavily on visuals, the fantasy graphics are surprisingly workman-like. Why is it workman-like? Why can't it be work-woman-like? Sexist. This is doubly confusing given Amazon's giant budget. And that brings us to arguably the biggest thing standing in the way of the Wheel of Time being the next fantasy mainstream hit. It's on Amazon. Okay, so it's on Amazon, so I really don't care about the last part. Unless he talks once again about diversity. I would love to see some of our bigger YouTubers like Gary and them go over this article from NBC News. It blew my mind. That blows my mind, people. What do you guys think? Let's see. I'm so far behind on this chat, so let's try to catch up. I just couldn't do it, J-Pod. I generally love good, low-budget stuff to force creativity to shine, stuff like Beastmaster and such. I agree. Simplicity, LOL. I think there are over 2,500 named characters in this series. Mr. Batsu. That's crazy. Hello, Carries. There's 27 of you guys, and you guys have been standing strong, so thank you so much. Hit the like button, share it out. Do me a huge favor. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And then if you can, come back after I'm done streaming in about 45 minutes and maybe like comment on this video. It'll really help me out in the algorithm. But we're going to move on, but I do want to read what you guys are talking about. The struggle at end convincing these people to leave. It's probably going to be rejected black lady to be the dragon. And like Jane Theory says, if she's a larger black, like dark skinned black woman, she'll be angry. J-Pod, did I read this one? I think they could have done the first episode better. First, improve the CGI and casting. You didn't like Anakin? Okay. Red-headed Anakin stepchild. I would have made the attack bigger, bit longer, and played into the horror aspect of it, and would have focused on that. I agree with you. I've been watching a show on Netflix. Sorry, I'm a sellout. It's called, oh crap, what was it called? I don't even have my phone. Hellbound? I think it's another South Korean one. It is. There's not a lot of scenes that it gets gory, but it's like vicious when it happens. It's such a good, it's like people get prophecy from an angel and it'll be like in 3 days at 3 p.m. you're going to die. And then these three like weird, ugly CGI is terrible, but it doesn't matter because the story's good. They come and they beat the living, ripping these people apart. And then they fry them with like a light and take their souls. It's a weird show. But I'm really digging it, and I don't know if anybody else has seen it. J-Pod, I already talked about that. When I first watched episode 1, thought the dragon was the big bad guy villain. The backstory was done poorly. I agreed. Excuse me for 1 second. I don't understand why they didn't spend more time on the early character building, which you get a kind of an idea of who these kids are. Use their names more often, because I still don't know what Anakin's name, redheaded Anakin stepchild, is. And told me more about life there. You know, I agree that Mawa Rain did a decent job of giving us the history, like who the white cloaks are and stuff like that, but I think they could have done better. What do you guys think? Let me know. Excuse me for 1 sec. Kids. Okay. Is there really 2,500 characters? Not that you need to keep track of them. Maybe 200 to 300 important characters in this series. That's insane, man. And like the Time Brown said, he doesn't mind diversity as long as it's relevant to the story, but forced diversity I don't like. And I think that's what we all agree on. It's this idea of forced diversity. Like, why? I don't understand forcing it. That's something I just don't understand. Another monster says the diversity of it all does not bother me nearly as much as the anti-male undertones. In our world today, most countries have many races. I agree. And again, if it doesn't affect canon, I'm fine with it. But yes, the anti-male undertones are huge. And does the book, because I understand that like the men tap in and it corrupts them, but is it the men in this series are like dopes or angry or, you know, just suck, except for Bruce Bolton seemed pretty good. Other than that, you know, they'll rob you, they'll stab you, you know, or they're like a man, they're a simp like Parrothead is. You know, I don't understand it. At Orville Nation and another animation for my new video. Yeah, check out the Time Prophet. He's awesome, dude. Perrin Ayarbara, what did they do to my boy? The nobody guy. Yeah, is that the one that killed his wife? And that actually didn't happen in the books? And like he's just a crying biatch? Is that Perrin? Am I right? I think so. Okay. MrGrantgregory, it's good to see someone on Scott's channel that gets his humor. I don't care for that one. I don't care for that one. You want MrGrantgregory?
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Perv. Let's see. At the nobody guy at the start of the show, Perrin, who is now black, I think, who whatever, was married, and I believe he murdered his wife. It was an accident. But yeah, she was kicking ass with those bollocks. And he swung around with an axe and just took her out on the side. I mean, crushed her. And he's been pouting about it ever since and won't tell anybody. He doesn't tell anybody that the wolves come up and lick his leg. Like, they're all keeping secrets from each other, but they all grew up together. Like, it's like, all right, you got 4 friends on a journey from a small town, and they're all keeping secrets from each other. Like, it makes no friggin' sense. I would have been like, dude, a pack of wolves came up to me. No, really, a pack of wolves. It licked my freaking wound on my... Oh, yeah, by the way, I have a wound on my leg. Real bad one. Licked my wound and just left. What the frig? No, they're like, I'm not telling anybody this story. I'll just keep that for myself. That's so dumb. MrGrantgregory, if you're around, I'm going to throw you a link. If you want to jump on to talk about J.K. Rowling next... what was I going to say? The other thing I was going to talk about, House of the Dragon. That'd be fine. You can jump on. I don't know if people are bored just listening to me spew stuff out. Thank you guys, whoever shared out the video, like Orville Nation and Fandom Collective. I really appreciate that, guys. It means a lot to us smaller content creators to get people to help us like that. So thank you very much. And so to you, Kyle. You know who I'm talking to. Yeah, Lady Gravemaster, I would love her to be here right now because she really does know this stuff. We're going to move on, though. Wheel of Time. I'm done with it. I'll finish. I haven't even finished the third one, guys. You need to EQ out the lower frequency of the music to let your voice get heard better. I don't even know what that means, dude. I am slow. What's up, buddy? Am I not sounding right? Are you there, Mr. Grant?
Sorry, I had my thing muted.
That's okay.
No, you sound all right to me, bud.
Okay. Checking 1, 2, 3. All right.
Oh, there it is. Oh, no, that's your voice. Never mind.
Oh, you son of a bit. Yes, Sporkrotic. I'll take it, guys. I'll take it. Sporking gamers. I am a Sporking gamer. That's true. I'm part of I'm part of Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, I'll have to check about that.
No, you don't have to check. You don't have to check.
Yeah, don't look into it, but I'm definitely a part of it.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I know I am. You're not part of it. Christian Fandom Geek. Dude, guys, check out my man's channel. He is really cool. He's a great voice, up and coming voice. Please, can one of my mods share Christian Fandom Geek's YouTube channel? We don't always, jeez. Tonight.
I have no
Whoa. Is there
so
light?
darky.
Are you in shadow?
I'm in the middle of my lounge room, and
You
the lights
look
are
like
on.
you look like you're like outside somebody's house. Like, are you
Looking through the window.
Summer? Okay.
Give me a second.
Yeah, guys, make sure you smash my Abby Smith button. One Man Show says, I am still recovering from watching Netflix Cowboy Bebop. It'll be a while before I can watch something else I feel sure will be bad. I've been watching Cowboy Bebop. I've only watched half of the first season. Sorry, I'll have to turn that off in a second.
Damn.
Have you
I have
watched?
no idea what's going on with it.
Don't even worry, it's a lot lighter now. Have you watched Cowboy Bebop?
Not all of it. I got through 1.5 episodes, and then
While I turn off my dehumidifier, tell me what you thought.
I just think it's vapid. There's no real substance to it, and I skip forward different things. I see how it ended, and I mean, it's the ultimate style over substance. They tried to make it look cool, but in the end, I felt like it was everything just seems off. It's like the Wish version of the product, and that's the easiest way for me to describe it. Certain action scenes were fine, but apart from that, I didn't really get into it, and it was weird because I really enjoyed the anime, and the characters are all good. I saw the thing with Ed, and that just made me want to vomit in my mouth. But apart from that, I mean, I guess if you're into bad stuff, it's good.
Yeah. Natural Advice says the IndieWire, I think he's talking about Wheel of Time, said was very revealing. I wonder what that's all about. Let me check that out. IndieWire. Wheel of Time. IndieWire, the Wheel of Time. Let's see. This is by Ben Travers.
Ben. Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He says it's fine as a frivolous diversion, but nothing more. I don't even think it's a great diversion. This story sucked, man. I just can't get into it. Like, have you watched any of it?
No, I haven't been able to. It's not on any of my services at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
And I haven't been bothered to look for it on Tortuga. So
okay, to what?
It's a bay where certain sea-dwelling captains hang out with wooden legs and their parrots. Parrot heads there all the time.
I could see that. Stig, what's up? Can tell from the trailer alone that they have completely altered the story. Dude, Stig has read the Wheel of Time series twice or even more. 4 times maybe. 14 books. He knows this series, and I take what he says, like him and Lady Gravemaster, people like that, above all. Stig, we are going to be talking about J.K. Rowling being doxxed. Doxing is bad. You shouldn't do it to people, even YouTubers. Just saying. I stand with Stig. Yes, it was filmed in Prague, Taguli. Oh, wow. A lot later now, buddy.
Yeah, I just unplugged it and plugged it back in. So
yeah. So Christian Fandom Geek, who I was just saying before, please guys check him out. He's awesome. It's the same issue that Lord of the Rings TV show on Amazon might have about diversity. Shouldn't be ad hoc or go against continuity. I think we all agree on that.
Well, when your ideology comes before your story and your world building, no matter how good the people act, it's destined for failure.
Yeah. So
that's the sad part, especially something like, I mean, I haven't read much of the series. I know we read stuff when I was in school, but it was back in, I think it was like 94 and 95 was when I read it, and that was like the 4th or 5th book or something at that stage. Something like that. So, I mean, it's definitely something that's spanned generations, and to be able to just try and inject all modern day politics into something that clearly doesn't need it. And the fact that if it's the opposite, it actually makes the story better because then the struggles are more real and everything's like that. But I mean, the stupid man syndrome, I'm assuming every guy in there is either an idiot or a bastard.
No, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Lying, thieving, just losers. Kind of like Cowboy Bebop.
Men are the worst.
Men are the worst. Joakim Stark, one of my channel members, says in the book you can tell what part of the world people are from by their appearance, skin color, hairstyle, eye shape, dress style, weapons used. That's the same with A Song of Ice and Fire. You know, people from the north are more burly, more usually white, wear a certain style of dress, don't believe in the idea of knights. You know, like their whole culture is different than someone from Dorne that looks more Mediterranean, more dark skin. You know, like you could tell where people are from, the way they dress, the culture, the religion, and Jordan follows that same narrative. And for us to just change it for the sake of changing it is ridiculous. And it angers me, man. It angers me. I don't know about you, but it's annoying when that happens. It just aggravates me.
As soon as it was announced and everything, I already assumed it was going to be this. And then if it wasn't, then it would have been a pleasant surprise. So,
right.
I mean, it's like even with something like a different genre like sci-fi, with the new Doctor Who, when we're going to get the old showrun and everything back, I'm still going to assume it's going to be absolutely terrible. And if it's not, then it's a pleasant surprise. Because I don't know how many times in the past X amount of years that we've been looking forward to something, and it's just everything's going good, and then there's one or two lines you're like, oh, that's starting to get a bit bad, and then that's the most timid thing, and then all of a sudden it's every trope that's in there. You know, they want to subvert expectations by writing a bad story when we're expecting a good one. I mean, if this was a good series, it would do what Game of Thrones did for me with the books. I went back and read all the books because of that first season of Game of Thrones.
Right.
And now I understand why a lot of my nerdy friends were really upset in the late 80s, you know, after that rereading scene. So, like, it builds up the world. They're not separate. But I feel like if people are going to look at this, they're going to go, this has nothing to do with the original source material. It's not even an adaptation. It's a parody.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's a parody. That's a perfect way of putting it. Orville Nation for $5. My brother PJ says 2022 New York area meetup coming at some point. We should talk soon, Scotty. Yeah, call me, dude, or text me and we'll talk. You know, we talk. I would love to do a meetup. Maybe we could talk to some of the guys in the Dark Council because they're from the New York area. That'd be a lot of fun. So I'll keep my subscribers who now are at where am I at right now? We're at 1903, so less than 100 to go to 2K. I can't believe Walton got there before me. Whatever. It's real cool.
So I'm not bitter about it either.
Yeah, we should all be bitter about it. God, she's hot. Rand Altor, is that Anakin Skywalker? I believe so. Oh, look who's here. The Gilk Man. I showed your commercial earlier. Good to see you, buddy. I'm not familiar with the Wheel of Time. The story is giving me a River World vibe. Maybe. And we have a Dega Outlaw, another great YouTuber is here. A lot of great YouTubers up here. Yes, meetup. Woohoo! Spork must be changing diapers. I had to take a second to say goodnight. So sorry, but yeah, let's move on to a different topic. Thank you guys. I wish I could keep up with the chat. Hey, Jane, you know, I meant to send you a link because anytime I stream, it always makes my stream smarter if Jane's here. We're going to be talking about, if Jane jumps on, we'll move to Game of Thrones. But right now, why don't we go to this article? I had to stop that beautiful young lady.
So misogynistic, I tell you.
I am, and I love it. So we have J.K. Rowling. Is that Pelori's? Pelori's transact? What's Pelori's? Do you know?
No, I know the term. I've heard the term, but I don't know if it's been used in the same way.
I feel so dumb.
I think it's almost like an anti thing, meaning the opposite, but I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
That-
it's our co-host.
Yeah, he's not a co-host. Mad the Magnificent. Dude, I love The Expanse. Love it. I don't care what anybody says about the last season. I still think it's good. So check it out. If you want to watch a good sci-fi series, check.
A diverse one.
And it is very diverse. And it doesn't affect the series at all. It's awesome. Really check that out. I've never gotten into the other part of the IP, but I've watched the show and I love it. All right, so let's get into JK. So what do we say that word means? Pylores?
I'll do the good old Google just to
Yeah,
make sure.
Google that, and we'll see what it is. Pylores. Pylores. But we'll start reading. So JK Rowling.
Attack and ridicule publicly.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
So J.K. Rowling is the one that did it to the trans activist.
So J.K. Rowling publicly attacks trans activists who share. Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Dude, does that make any sense? J.K. Rowling attacks publicly trans activist who shares her address on social media. I'm guessing Sarah Taylor used pylores because morons like me don't know what the word means. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. Yeah. Culture Casino in the house.
The word is pillories. Pillories.
Pylores, that's what I said.
Yeah, Scott was like pillories. I was like, pylores.
Pylores. Whoa.
No, but I just couldn't hear you butcher English language this long.
So you came in as a nipple?
Yes, I am a nipple. I am your nipple.
You are a nipple in the sky. Do you want to talk about J.K. Rowling with us?
As in J.K. Rowling's band? Sure, I love Rowling's band.
I love the Rowling's band, yeah. We do have the Nobody Guy. Dude, thank you so much. $10. Wow, thank you so much. They butchered the source material. Atrocious casting with multiple swaps. It does affect canon. It begins in a homogenous community where Rand stands out because he looks different. You talking about redheaded Anakin? That's redheaded Anakin. Have you watched any of that series?
No.
I thought you loved it.
I did. The books are great. This stuff is garbage-tasticness. I wasn't even going to touch it, dude. I already knew what it was. Look, I can tell you what most of the properties are, and what they're doing to them. I don't need to see them. And then when I get any kind of information about anything, it usually turns out to be exactly as I expected, which was total garbage. Mm-hmm. So I knew what this was going to be. You knew what this was going to be, and you went ahead and looked at it anyway.
I did. I couldn't help myself. And I do regret starting it because now I'm going to have to stick with it and see how bad it goes.
Oh, no, No, you've got better things to do with your life. You have kids, you have a channel to build. You have Walton to attack.
I do have Walton to attack.
Yeah, I mean, you just, you've got to. I can't believe you haven't passed him yet. What is wrong with you?
I'm only at 1903, man.
Oh man.
And my I don't understand. Every time I do a short, I get over 1,000 views, and this loser's beating me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But I do know this.
It's probably racism.
J.K. Rowling is a treasure, right? She's a UK treasure as far as the things that she's produced. She's said some dumb stuff across the board, but what she's being attacked for is ridiculous. And then of course now, with what you're talking about, with the being doxxed, I guess doxing is bad, guys. You don't, if somebody doesn't want their public info, if they don't want their information out in public, don't do that.
Yeah, even YouTubers, because you're a little upset with the YouTuber. If the YouTuber never shows their face, never uses their real name, you shouldn't be doxing them. That's just my feeling on that.
I mean, you shouldn't be doxing anyone to begin with.
You shouldn't be doxing or gaslighting or doing any of that stuff. I don't understand the...
I don't like doxing, for
a lot
of reasons. The problem is that, at a certain point, I know for a fact, my information is going to end out there in public. It'll happen. But to be honest with you, this particular type of doxing is incredibly dangerous, because, allowing people to have somebody's address. I mean, unless that's already generally available public information, that's not the best, man. That's bad luck.
Yeah, especially with her being a target of a organized group. I mean, it was to the point where they had the 20-year celebration of Harry Potter, and she was told she wasn't allowed to go.
How crazy is that?
Like it's the weirdest thing ever because of the trans employees, and I'm like, but she hasn't. Whether you believe what she says or not, what she said was not an attack. It was just a fact, or at worst, a point of view that you might think is ignorant.
Right.
But to say that she's actively going out after the trans community based on one sentence that she said 18 months ago.
Right. Right.
It's ridiculous. And that's the sort of
nothing,
person.
Nothing she said.
She's in danger.
No, you're right. But nothing she said is contrary to actual science. Okay.
No, I know, but I'm saying even at worst, if you want to put a slant on it in their favor, all you can say was it was a dumb opinion.
Well, the problem is she hasn't backed down, and that's what's pissing them off. She hasn't backed down.
Woman not backing down. Yeah, I
exactly.
Can see why they're upset about that.
Yep. Glinser for $5. Thank you, my brother. He's a channel member. As a fan of the Chronicles of Pern, I used to want a film or show adaptation. Emphasis on used to. I'm good with the books. Of course. Yeah. And how sad is that, man?
No, it seems normal to me. I mean, nowadays, doesn't it seem normal? You know,
it is.
I want nothing that they're going to adapt into the modern audience thing.
Right, right.
So, you know, and like I said, I mean, this particular circumstance, I mean, you know, they're accusing her of something they consider offensive. You know, she considers what they're doing, you know, offensive. So here, the battle of the offense is the problem. And she has billions of dollars. She has FU money, right? So, you know, when you have FU money, you kind of don't care anymore. You know, and
right.
you should spend your whole life like you have FU money so that you don't care about what other people think about you or your opinion.
Yeah,
so there you are.
No, that's a good way of putting it, my brother. That is a good way of putting it. All right, so let me read a little bit more about this one. Wait a minute. Before that, the Time Prophet says, at Sporking News Podcast, perhaps if you sold coffee and did unnatural things with trees, you could have 3,000 subs too. First of all, he only has 2,000. I'm going to beat him to 3,000. And while we talk about that, let's take a look at a commercial where I have a booger in my nose. Who is better, me or Stephen Walton?
You're really here?
I'm here.
You're
I'm
a real
here.
person?
Who should hit 2K first, myself or Stephen Walton?
Stephen who? Guy that wrote that dumb book that nobody bought?
Oh! What do you mean, eat, pray, trees? 2K first, me or Stephen Walton? Me or Stephen Walton to 2K first? Who the fuck is Stephen Walton? All right, me or Stephen Walton to 2K first?
Who's that motherfucker?
Not many people know. Okay, so we're here trying to figure out, should I hit 2K first or Stephen Walton? Do you know who that is, Stephen Walton? Exactly. He doesn't matter, people. Subscribe to Sporking News Podcast. Why did no one tell me I had a booger in my nose that day?
I really don't know, but it was amazing because every clip that I saw, I didn't see it. I didn't see it at first. I was just editing, you know, the pure amazingness of it all. And then when I sent them to you, you're like, I have a booger in my nose. I was like,
I even see it on other people's streams now when they show you. It's just once you see it, you just hone in on it.
It's like I always have a booger.
Yeah, it's like a magic missile.
Yeah, it's really disturbing. And
or asteroid satellite.
You know who else is disturbing? Nick. Of Nick and Sam McCabe. What is up, my brother?
Everyone.
How are you?
Been a while.
It has been. I've missed you, man. How you been?
Yeah, I've been really good. Been very busy these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, doing what?
Oh, I was on a retail course.
A what?
A retail course. Learning how to sell things and
okay.
about customer service and all that sort of stuff.
Customer service is an alt-right dog whistle. Don't you know that?
Yeah, right.
I thought you said retiling, like you learn how to tile like a bathroom or something, but you forgot it, so you had to go do a course to relearn it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay,
fun.
Can I say this? I love how STX Robstar put this. Doxing is a passive-aggressive attack aiming to cause someone more aggressive to take action against a doxed person. That is a perfect way of putting it. Perfect way. You are such a coward that you're giving other people their information, hoping. And You're hoping somebody else does something. Because what is the intent of doxing someone, that maybe they'll stand outside their house and yell at them? No, you're, in my opinion, you're hoping these people cause harm to other people. Yeah.
It's only slightly less. It's only slightly less cowardly than swatting someone.
What's swatting?
When you call the cops on someone,
when
they've got a hostage while they're live on stream.
Yeah.
Could we call Walton when he does it?
No, you don't do that.
Oh, don't do it.
People have been killed.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do that to Steven. I promise. Glinser, J.K. Rowling accused of having muggle privilege.
Basically.
Yep. Liger fan says, I just can barely work up enough energy to say I just don't give a about Rowling versus trans. Okay, but I do. One thing I love about Sporking News podcast, he knows to put my deepest feelings out there.
That's true. Scott will definitely get to the heart of the matter.
I will. So let's talk about this matter real quick. Let's see. Famed Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling has come out swinging against trans activists who reportedly attempted to intimidate her by sharing photos of her address to social media. In a lengthy Twitter thread, wow, she's only 55. She's a freaking awesome. The 55-year-old author, both a feminist and vocal supporter in defending biological gender, revealed that 3 transgender activists doxed her on social media. She wrote, last Friday, my family's address was posted on Twitter by 3 activist actors who took pictures of themselves in front of our house, carefully positioning themselves to ensure that our address was visible. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who reported the image at Twitter support. The author continued, your kindness and decency made all the difference to my family and me. I'd also like to thank at Police Scotland for their support and assistance in this matter. What do you guys think about her response to this? To me, it's not much at first. You know, she's thanking people and she's disgusted by what has happened. She's letting people know these so-called activists made sure to get her address out there where her family lives.
Well, she's clearly attacking them. I mean, the undertones in that, they're dripping with it.
Violent.
I mean, the fact that she hasn't said anything shows more violence, because silence is violence, on top of the words that she said, which are also violence.
Yeah. What do you think, Nick McCabe?
As ever, I think she's being as gracious as she can be.
Right, when her family's in danger?
Yeah, especially when your family's in danger. There's a very real there's a very real danger of you losing your absolute shit.
Yeah.
The fact that she remained calm about the situation, I think speaks to something in her character.
Mm-hmm. What do you think there, my good man, Culture Casino?
Well, I mean, I think both of these gentlemen hit it on point, to be honest with you. I think that it's very clear to me that she took the high ground. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I wish all of us could do that. I wish all of us would do that. If not to have the knee-jerk reaction that would, send something into a flaming inferno, to further, encourage the situation.
Right.
Bloodlust is very difficult to control.
It is. Yeah. I mean, my temper, if someone threatens my family, is pretty ridiculous. So,
right.
Oh, yes.
Another monster want to let you know he has FU money and he's broke. I love that. That's awesome. The Time Prophet says it takes 1 male and 1 female to make 1 transfer. Oh God, you're gonna get me in trouble one of these days. It's like a nose boner. That's my booger. I think he's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, let's see. We got 2 super chats. So Orville Nation saying, I think I finally figured out who this Stephen Walton character is. Oh, wait a minute. Someone linked that. I can't. Hold on. Oh, God, what did I just do? Okay, I'm good. If someone can bring that up in our panel. I want to see what that is. Thank you, my brother. You don't always have to do that, but I appreciate all the support. The Nobody Guy for another $5. New to the channel. I dig your humor and the panel streams. Hail Culture Casino. Hail to the Dick's Division. Beware the Drew. You are absolutely
So
correct. And what is on tonight after this show? Culture?
You know, we have the 1-year anniversary show of Comics Division's Yelling at Parked Cars. We have a special guest tonight. He is famous, like
you're welcome,
world famous.
You're
you know
welcome.
What his name is?
Scott.
No, Dan Vask.
Does he do music?
He does. He does music, and he's flipping
He does really
awesome.
good music.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
and
Yes, he does.
You know, and of course the regular cast of characters will be there, including George Molho, and Scott somehow invited himself on the panel tonight.
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, you did a great job.
I only do it when big time people are on, you know, because
we've noticed
comics loves me first off, probably more than most. So, and I love comics, but you know, like Quarter Black Garrett, I'll come on, Dan,
you're very
I'll come on.
Very magnanimous, I think, is the terminology there.
I think that's a good word, right? Okay,
What I have to Google now. God.
Yeah, right. That bastard.
Sorry.
So Rawling also asked social media users if they would remove any instance of the photo featuring her personal information. I implore those people who retweet the image with the address still visible, even if they did so in condemnation of these people's actions, to delete it. She continued, pointing out that women ought not be intimidated after speaking up for that which they believe. So she added, over the last few years, I've watched appalled as women like Allison Bailey, Raquel Sanchez, Marion Miller, Rosie Duffield, Joanna Cherry, Julie Bindel, Rosa Friedman, Kathleen Stock, and many, many others, including women who have no public profile, but who've contacted me to relate their experiences, have been subject to campaigns of intimidation, which range from being hounded on social media, the targeted of their employers, all the way up to doxing and direct threats of violence, including rape. Wow. All because you talk about the trans community. That's 1% of 1% of 1% of the population. How did we allow them to get so much control? I'm sorry.
It's not even trans people. It's the radical trans activists. The people who claim to speak for trans people.
Yes. Look at our friend over in China, Howard. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Our trans friend over in China. Oh my God, I'm
Carrie Howard.
Carrie Howard. Sorry, Carrie. Carrie is one of the coolest people I know. She has an OnlyFans if you're into that, and she is awesome. She is awesome. She tells her story and but she's not one of these sensitive freaking trans people. She could take a joke. She jokes. She condemns things like this. Like, she's awesome, dude. And if you don't know her, check out her channel, because she's a good person. Please do. Let me finish up with this real quick. Rawlings pointed out such women are now no way as prolific as the world's best author, as far less arsenal of protection to fight against. So none of these women are protected in the way I am, she continued. They and their families have been put into a state of fear and distress for no other reason than they refuse to uncritically accept that the social political concept of gender identity should replace that of sex. I love this woman. Rawlings then went on to identify those she said intentionally revealed her private address, calling them out by name: Holly Starr, Richard Energy, and Georgia, whatever, Frost. So she puts them up on her tweet. Thought doxing me would intimidate me out of speaking up for women's sex-based rights. They should have reflected on the fact that I've now received so many death threats I could paper the house with them, and I haven't stopped speaking out, she concluded.
Oh yeah, she's got receipts and everything, and thanks to Data Racer and everything, he keeps receipts too.
He's amazing. Perhaps, and I just throwing this out there, the best way to prove your movement isn't a threat to women is to stop stalking, harassing, and threatening us. Wow.
That's not how it works, though.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. These
It's
people.
okay when we do it.
Yeah. This needs to stop, man. And the idea that the backlash really started less than like a year or two ago. So she said she heard the term people who menstruate instead of calling them women. And at the time she quipped, people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Reuben, Wimpund, Womund. Following the incredible backlash, she added, if sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased.
Well, I mean, because it's just a basic fact that men can do everything better than women, even be women.
Oh, ask Mad that. I mean, Mad will tell you that in 1 second.
Yeah, Mad's a big fan of women.
Certain accounts, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
Well, the amount of dollar bills that he throws at them, you'd think he's a fan.
Yeah,
No, I'm convinced that he may slag off women, but I think secretly he loves them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think so. Let's see. So we have the Rads are really doing their communities a grave disservice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's another huge thing. Like you touched on, Nick. It's like in this such a small community, it's truly like less than probably these activists have to be under like the 10,000 mark easily.
Oh God, yeah.
1,000 mark maybe.
I
even.
maintain that 90% of people, just anyone really, 90% of people just want to be left a bloody alone.
Yeah.
They're happy to go about their business and just not be disturbed. But then you get these activist types getting in people's faces and getting up people's snitch. It just rubs people up the wrong way.
Right. What do you think? Their culture?
Well, this chick's hot.
What? Oh yeah, that's the girl from the Shannara Chronicles, and she was also the young girl in Pan's Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, and I'm a huge fan of hers.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't care about this anymore. The arguments of all of us aren't going to change these people's minds.
No, not at all, man. Lagerfan says it's the fault of the morons who get I'm a woman in my soul confused with actual biology, like it's a slight against them, and those people should really just go away and shut the F up. That's the thing I don't understand. Why? Okay, could someone, and if you support this in my chat, please, no one attack them, because I truly believe in free thought on my channel. But could someone please explain to me, how is it a threat that a woman who has fought for feminist and gay rights for decades, why can't she feel like taking away the power of a biological woman by saying menstruated people and things like that? Like, why is that wrong? Sex, there's only two sexes. There's man and there's woman. That's biology 101. And we are actually changing that because of gender. Gender is a construct we created. When we look back 10,000 years from now and an archaeologist finds your bones, they're not going to say, oh, this person was a non-binary cis male. No, they're going to say that was a male at X amount of age, or that was a female at X amount of age.
That's where a lot of people get confused, is the conflation of sex and gender. I mean, me, I'm of the belief that sex is the biological stuff. It's the thing that you can measure, whereas gender, it's the performance of that sex.
Right.
Ooh.
So gender doesn't contradict, sex, and sex doesn't contradict gender. They're sort of they're two two separate things. But gender, I believe, is also informed somewhat by sex. But because we're intelligent humans, creative, etc., we can sort of choose not to perform how you would the stereotypical things associated with the sex. So yeah, we can choose not to conform.
No, I'm with you.
But when it comes to sex, the actual physical, biological, measurable stuff, well, we're not amphibians. We can't just click our fingers and change that.
Right. And Orville Nation keeps trying to throw Maria under the bus. It's saying she's the queen of Wokies. But thank you, Maria, for being here, who has a channel of her own with T and Telly. So please check her out. Orville Nation, I think you are a mod. Please share her link. Don't share yours because you're being mean. You can share hers, though. Mr. Batsu says the sad part is the wacko activists annoying regular people so much it can change those regular people from not caring to actually being negative about trans people. Stop pissing everybody off. Yes, it's counterproductive. It is counterproductive. There's a fine line between protest and defending your rights to almost creating people that are going to be against you. What do you think, Mr. Grant Gregory?
I didn't hear any of that. So
that was great. Good stuff. Thank you.
So I agree with you for the most part, but I think that last part was probably a bit different. I have no idea what it was. So
right.
Yeah.
You are very welcome.
Little one just decided to take a tumble, so I had to make sure she was all right.
Oh no, I get that. No, what I was saying is when you protest something, when you become a radical in anything, and diversity and gender and this or that, these trans activists, so-called terror activists, they go so far that you actually may take people who didn't really care and make them anti-trans because of the extremes you go to harass people. Is that fair?
I mean, yeah. If you ask good mate Wes, he'll say that it's all part of the plan. To the acceptance of these and the over acceptance is designed purely simply to demonize and vilify these people. And I might be right, because it's never the people who it's about, whether it's a Black Lives Matter protest or anything like that. It's these other suburbanite people who have nothing to do with it that are speaking on behalf of these, that are causing all the stuff. And all of a sudden, they're talking about a bunch of poor people, yet there's thousands of signs and there's all this huge organization. The money's got to be coming from somewhere. So yeah, I just think it's when we live in such a comfortable world, it's very easy to be radicalized against it, because what else have you got? There's no priorities anywhere else.
Right. Right. Well, it's also first world problems. It truly is. It's like, if we were somewhere where it's hard to get water and food, I think, it'd be a lot different. But these people have too much time on their hands. And when you grow up in a world where everybody tells you yes, it's hard to hear anyone say no. And that's something that these kids need to learn. Yes, please check out The Most of Woke with Maria. And that's her YouTube channel. Guys, let's support her. I also put Nick and Sam's link in there somewhere up in the chat. Please support them. I think they're at like 103 or 105. Am I correct?
Yeah, we hit 105, I believe.
Nice. Congrats, man. Could we get that a little higher tonight?
Really exciting.
Yeah, let's get it a little higher tonight, guys. Please. Pizza or sandwich? That's what you got to ask. All right.
Fold
so
the pizza into a sandwich. Best of both worlds.
We call those wedges.
Oh,
so
wedges are potato chips here.
Well, no, you get potato wedges too. Those are like JoJo's. They're like a quarter of a potato. But in Pittsburgh, they take a pizza, they put the meat and cheese, let it melt a little bit, maybe with like some onions and stuff. And then once you pull it out, the pizza's cooked. You put the lettuce, tomato, mayo, fold it in half and cut it into quarters. And that's a wedge. That's in Pittsburgh when I lived out there.
Yum.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, lettuce on a pizza base.
Well, it's not, there's no tomato sauce or anything.
Oh, okay. But where do you put the pineapples?
I hate you. I hate you. So let's just know that Game of Thrones prequel show will trust the audience. So I know you guys might not be as big as into this as I am, but yeah, we got the Hightowers here. She's kind of good looking, Olivia Cook. So this is the only thing I wanted to point out in this article. So Ryan Condal, who was part of the Game of Thrones series that destroyed the greatest series of all time, could have been, he talks about like world building. So Condal talked about that on a recent episode of the Ugly American Werewolf in London podcast, which is mostly about rock music, but which took a break from that to talk movies and TV with Condal. Condal called exposition a necessary evil and thinks the writer's job is to too gushy it up so that audiences learns what they need to know without losing interest. And in the case,
the word is gussy.
Didn't I say Gussie?
No.
What did I say?
Gushy.
Oh, gush. Yeah, those are gushers. I was thinking.
Gosh darn it.
You guys are gussying me up. And in the case of House of the Dragon, he had a head start. The job on House of the Dragon was actually much easier than it would have been had I been creating the original series. All credit to Game of Thrones, you son of a bitch, showrunners David Benioff and Dan Weiss.
Don't use their real names. Call them by their proper names. Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. And what's that YouTuber AI?
The two Ds.
Yeah, the two Ds.
Yeah.
I hate those guys. And creator George R. R. Martin. Yeah. Who I love him, dude. I haven't been able to watch him in so long. I would love to get him on the show sometime. He's a funny dude. Having come before me, they did all this work for me, so don't have to explain anything about what a Targaryen is or what Westeros is or what an Iron Throne is. I disagree.
Yeah, like we learned nothing of the Targaryen culture and the way of life because she wasn't even in. Like, I don't understand if this is supposed to be a direct sequel to direct prequel to the Game of Thrones TV series. We know nothing of the Targaryens.
Not really, no.
Yeah,
we've heard a little. We've learned about
right.
We've learned about her generation.
Yeah,
you know, and the generation right before.
There's a lot of information to get put out there, especially is this going to be before the fall of Valyria or
no? This is 100 years after Aegon's conquest.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, this is right before. It starts right before the Dance of the Dragons, where two factions of the Targaryen family go after each other, where prior to that they had like 20 dragons and by the end of it they have like 2. This is the beginning of the end for the Targaryens.
The scope is I was going to say quite narrow. It's not like you're not gonna need a whole lot of information to go on about Valyria or anything. So yeah, there's always a way to do these things, you know. Right. I just hope they don't do it like a big info dump at the front, you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, you've got Matt Smith, and if there's ever an actor who can dump a lot of information really quickly and get the audience to get it, it's him. And I mean, I think he's a great cast.
He's one of my favorite characters too. He's the Rogue Prince, which is
The Crown.
What's that?
The Crown. He was excellent in The Crown.
He's pretty much great in anything he does.
Oh yeah.
You know,
he was all right as Billy the Bully in that small film. I can't remember what that was called.
Yeah,
that
right.
Was pretty good. Yeah,
that's him right there. I'm pretty sure that's him. That's the Rogue Prince, Daemon Targaryen. It's a great story, but I wouldn't have started there for a prequel. Like, give me Aegon's conquest. Give me how the Targaryens took over Westeros. I mean, there's so much action in that.
Make that a movie. Make that an epic, a 2 or 3 hour movie, and that would sell it like crazy. But the problem is they have to go this smaller scale because of what Dumb and Dumber did to the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, we're not getting a lot of the shows yet because of what Dan and Dave did. I think HBO separated themselves from the show for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of work needed in order to coax audiences back.
Right. So Matt Smith will be singing Little Red Corvette. Nice. That's Lager fan. Orville Nation says Gap. Who's Gap? Mad Martigan? I don't know. But all right, let me just read a little bit more of this. I want to make sure this isn't, this is a little bit of the add-on. The first thing is always the hardest when the work is cleverly done in the first go, as it was. Oh my God, he's such an ass kisser of Dumb and Dumber. The work of the person who follows becomes that much easier. So yes, there is exposition in the series. There has to be, because we didn't, like you said, learn about the Dance of Dragons at all in the series. Cause you have to settle into the new timeline that they're in, and also with these characters and the things that they're dealing with and all that. But so much of that heavy lifting has already been done that the audience coming in knows what the stuff is. So you can cleverly sort a feather in things and reference things, and they will pick it up and carry it on. I disagree that we have enough information. If you are just a show watcher, you do not have enough information. You don't. And to think that exposition is not worth it, like, that tells you everything. That tells you the rules of this world. But he goes on. You really have to trust your audience. Audiences are really smart, and they want it to be an interactive experience. They don't want to be spoon-fed everything. They want to have to lean forward in their chair and listen and put things together and say, oh, I know what that is and that is. And that's what makes them engage with your work. So it has to be accessible, because if it's inaccessible, you just lose them.
Right. I think I know what he's trying to say.
I do too.
I think what he's trying to say, I think he's actually wanting not to dump everything up front, and what he's trying to get at is that he wants to pepper it through.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
so he's just going to
start of
tell
it
the
sounded
story
different.
and just speckle in little bits of info all over the place.
Okay, sorry, Gap Stargate. I'll have to learn about you sooner, but with your avatar, I'm a little nervous. But welcome to the channel. Gap Stargate, I think he just didn't put two and two together. No, I've seen you before, and I know who you are, and I apologize for not realizing who you were. Thank you, though.
Don't look into it, but I did. I knew who you were. Gap. What's his name? Yep.
Gap.
Big fan. Yeah, big fan.
Gap the Stargate.
Yep.
I like him.
Gap. Correct. Yep. Good guy. Or gal. Or both. Or neither.
You're fucking it all up, man. I am not subscribed to you, 38 subscribers. Guys, someone share Gap Stargate, because I screwed it up. I feel bad now. Let's see what it's about. Lots of fun and who knows what else. So how many videos do you have? You have a handful of videos. Guys, let's support this guy. I love, you got the Biggies unboxing videos. So I like that. So check out Gap Stargate. Comes right up. 39 subscribers now. Check them out. Let's see. I wanted to show one other thing before we call it quits, boys.
Yeah, then, we don't have a lot of time before the big show.
Oh, yeah. What time's that start at? 10?
We're coming up on it. Less than an hour.
Less than an hour. So
51 minutes.
I just wanted to read this real quick. So this is what George R. R. Martin wants to let you know. He has been working, but not on the railroad. I have been writing Winds of Winter, editing.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing?
Blow.
Rise up so early in the morn.
Blow.
Can't you hear the train a going?
Down.
Dinah, blow your horn.
Blowing me.
Ladies.
Yeah, right? Okay, so this is what George has been working on as we've waited 11 years for the next installment of A Song of Ice and Fire. I've been writing Winds of Winter.
Scott.
Yes, sir.
He's not going to finish the books, dude.
Shut up. Winds of Winter. He's editing 3 new wildcard books, sitting down with some amazing screenwriters and showrunners to create 317 new Game of Thrones successor shows. He's being a dick right now. And serving as an executive producer on various other television and film projects in various stages of development, including Dark Winds for AMC, Joker Town for Peacock, Road Marks, and Who Fears Death for HBO. Oh, and I was the executive producer on our recently wrapped short film of Howard Waldrop's Night of the Cooters. So I have been working, maybe too bloody hard, but that's another tale for another blog.
I mean, he's still a young man. There's plenty of oh, never mind.
I'm so sick and tired of him. I love the man so much, but god dang it, man, get the book done.
That's how bad Dumb and Dumber are. They literally ruined the author wanting to make anything else in the universe because it reminds him of how bad that series was.
Like, literally, they had so much content. Okay, I understand season 1 you only did book 1 because you had to have HBO buy it, and then you had to get a second and third season okayed. But after that, I would have taken every drop of book 2, book 3 and 4, or excuse me, 3, then 4 and 5, and just milk them for about 10 to 12 seasons.
Well, they wanted to give him another 3 or 4 seasons, and they just went, there's not enough time. We've got a Star Wars thing coming out.
Oh yeah. Star Wars. Whatever happened with that?
Which should be hitting cinemas very soon now, within the next 40, 50 years, I think.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Right after Kathleen Kennedy gets fired.
Okay, I'm going to shower and get ready for the big show. Wow, he didn't even want to show up. What a dick.
Wait a minute. Is Mads actually going to be at the show?
I hope not.
He said he was co-hosting.
He's co-hosting tonight.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, everybody. Thank you for watching my first solo, then small panel in a long time.
Yeah, I didn't mean to invade your channel, Scott.
No, what is that?
James.
It's Game of Thrones in space.
Yeah, Leviathan Wakes.
Yep.
Oh, that looks cool.
And there's lots of books.
Yep, there's that one. Then there's my favorite out of the second one, Gallan's War.
Nice.
And I'm on my second read through of forget my very manly coloured bookmark.
Uber gay.
Yeah, it is, but it's good storytelling, so I can take that. Very diverse, and no, it's good. It's I had to go get a palate cleanser after watching that last season again of The Expanse, especially those 4 episodes where someone was trying to just catch their breath.
Yeah, I love The Expanse. I'm not gonna kill it. I can't wait to see what they do with this. Wait, one more season. That's it, right?
Yeah, but the problem is where they're at is where the books drop in quality like massively, and then they do a ridiculous time jump.
Yeah,
and then there's magic pills that stop people from aging, and then it turns into fantasy space, and that was never what it was. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, read them. I buy 2 copies. I've got ones on my shelf that I don't read, and then I've got these ones that I read.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out because I do love it. So yes, Comics Division's channel. We are going to be on there tonight in less than an hour. It starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. But let's, Nick, tell them where they can find you, buddy.
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Mooneyblue1. I'm pretty active there. But if you're looking for YouTube videos and everything, you can find me at Nick and Sam McCabe. So it's just there in my little, title there. So just look that up. We've got lots of nice videos, and yeah, we're at 105 subscribers. It'd be wonderful if we got more. And what else? Yeah, that's it.
And you guys are hot.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there. Mr. Grant Gregory, where can they find you, sir?
Anywhere where this name is, that's usually me. I don't have to be doxxed because I use my real name. So, or do I? No, it is. Or is it? No, it is. So, just check me out anywhere. I'll be mooching off a stream, and fortunately, I couldn't get on the Yelling at Podcast tonight, which is a pity. I think someone took my place in the panel. Who knows? I didn't even ask, so it's my own fault. But yeah,
you got to invite yourself.
Yeah, no, that's what Mad said. He said just invite yourself everywhere. Just say, oh, what time are we doing our stream?
He is worse than I am, and that's pretty bad.
That does say a lot.
Yeah, it really does. Culture.
Yeah, I'm Culture Casino. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Odyssey channel. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Minds. I think I have a Locals that I have never ever done anything with, and I'm gonna try Rumble and gonna.
Don't you have Grinder?
Not yet. I don't even know what that is. But I do Twitch. I actually do gaming on Twitch. So if you want to see me do something that's not, yelling about things, although I will yell at a game from time to time, check that out too. And then I'm everywhere. I'm on 26 to 32 live streams a week. Only 8 of them are on my channel.
Wow, that's impressive, dude. That is impressive. Do you know we're on Twitch right now?
Oh, hi, Twitch.
Yeah, we are on Twitch right now, and we actually had nobody there. So I'm going to share that out real quick. So, guys,
you have a solid following on
Yeah,
Twitch.
I do. Well, let's see. Wait a minute. How many people do I have?
Consistent following. We'll go with consistent.
I don't even know how to tell how many people I have. I have 22 followers. So thank you to those 22 people. Thank you very much. Gap Stargate, please, guys, check them out. And yes, thank you very much. I love the Steam too. So I want to thank everybody for coming. No worries. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I had a fun time. I don't know if we'll be doing Mondays again. My wife just was cool about it, so I jumped on. Hopefully we will get back to the Game of Thrones book club at some point. And when we do that, that would be awesome.
That would be great if there were ever books to cover.
He will finish the books.
I was waiting for Matt to have a complaint about the thing, but I forgot he's not here.
It's not even bent anymore.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Good night. See you over at Dick's Division.